Hello, everyone. The one called Fate knocks at your door. I'm Hunt, back with another episode of Tabletop Recap. We have our normal Dungeons and Dragons people with us today. First, the god that fell from grace, Kami.
Hi, guys.
We have the most powerful being in the universe, Big Boy Chungus.
Boom chakalaka laka, boom chakalaka laka.
And the one who's mentioned last simply because she's a woman, Karen the Manager Slayer.
Wow.
Mean.
Who has recently been promoted to manager.
Yeah, because you're the DM now, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's your turn. So this is the first story time episode for Karen's campaign. I think we did well.
Great.
People were killed. Silver was gotten. And
Gizzards
people were
gobbled.
killed. Yeah. That did happen. That did happen. So, normally we roll for initiative, but I feel like Karen should start it off. Also, I forgot to get out my dice. I put my dice away. Oh, did you have one for me?
We always got dice.
Let's just do it anyways.
Yeah.
I was the only one that didn't have a dice. I'm the host of the show. 19.
17.
5.
Okay. I yield to Karen.
Okay, so, I guess I'll just I really didn't give you guys a lot of explanation in the beginning. Okay, so this campaign is...
Started in an inn.
No.
I
No.
hate that cliche.
Oh.
It deserves to be shot.
This is going to be a 1 to 20 campaign, so level 1 to level 20, per the request of our resident lizard boy. So we'll get to that.
Yeah, we got to introduce our characters.
Super excited. That was probably the best part, was just the lizard boy. But it is a typical high fantasy world where they're going to start learning about what's around as they go. A lot of information is going to be doled out as they progress through the story. But I gave all of them in the very beginning a little information. They were all sent on quests separately, but it was all kind of the same quest without them realizing it because they got the quest from different towns. And people thought it was a different thing based on their location and so on. So yeah, I gave them information and they met up in the woods where they were all in pursuit of something. So...
Yeah, I was clearing out wild dogs for a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
I got a similar one. I was clearing out what they thought were wolves that were attacking a farm.
And I was told that there was a bandit with a group of hounds that was using to kill a group of farmers' livestock, such as chicken and cows.
Yeah. And then they met up in the woods, where we kind of met their characters.
And I think the first thing I said to them was, move mammals. But we should probably say who our characters are first.
Yes.
I'm going to let Big Boy Chungus go first.
So my character's name is Tywin, and he is a half-elf warlock. He's kind of secretive right now, so I don't want to say too much in front of everyone else until some character developments happen, but he is a bit of a shyster and a liar, and these guys caught on real quick about that.
Yeah, I think there was a line in the campaign where my lizard folk said, "Are you what mammals call a blank hole?"
Spoiler alert, yes, he is.
Yeah, I do very little for free. There was one instance where I was getting out of a scrap and my clothes were dirty, so I cast Prestidigitation on myself, and Kami's character is like, "Hey, can I get one of those? I'm a little dirty myself." And I say, 5 gold. And he's like, "What? But it's just a cantrip." And I said, "One that you don't have."
Yeah,
I'm still dirty.
Who are you playing?
My character is Carrick Attaway, also a half-elf, but a bard.
And there's a supplemental character?
There is a supplemental character. Carrick Attaway has the bestest boyo named Hearn.
Hello, friend.
His wolfhound.
Hello, I am Dungeon Pupper.
I am the big dungeon borker.
Giving you a big bork.
And Carrick Attaway is kind of a good old boy farmer who finally gets to explore the world on his own. Very talkative, very friendly, and not afraid to over-exaggerate a story.
Very not afraid.
Very not afraid. Excited to exaggerate.
You added whole new characters when you were in the bar.
I did.
But I am Kabuto D-End. I am a urban.
Weeaboo.
Wow. Just because I name all my characters after common writers, does that make me a weeb?
The biggest.
Aw.
So I'm sad now.
Oh no, we're all
Sorry.
weebs here.
So he's just a lizard folk, bounty hunter, and mercenary. And all he wears is like this brown cloth diaper because he would be naked, but mammals won't let him into stores unless he's covered up. So he has this like cloth diaper looking thing on him. And he's got these cool yellow arms and legs, but he's green. It fades to the yellow. Kicks butt.
I love Kabuto.
Yeah, I like this session just because I think you all really fleshed out your characters, and it was glorious.
Yeah, I think we roleplayed quite well. But we're going to start off with the story. I'll have you start us off on that as well, Karen.
Okay, so as they are kind of talking and like, oh, what are you doing here? They are met in the woods by two undead wolves that approach and engage them in combat, and there was nothing in any of their things about undead, as they quickly discussed after getting attacked. And yeah, I mean, you guys, I don't know.
We rolled for initiative and fought some evil puppers.
Yeah,
And quickly murked them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was very proud of how well you guys worked together, and then you guys were like, oh, well, I guess we're going to keep going. You guys traveled together to a wolf den that you found some, a big alpha undead wolf and then two regular undead wolves, and you fought them again. They gave you a little bit of a harder time, but you still did really good.
Yeah, none of us really got any major injuries. I think Kami's character was the only one who got hurt the most, and he recovered pretty quickly from those.
I took more than half my health in the first attack.
Kabuto's never lost a hit point.
It's
Yeah.
true.
And all the damage I've taken has been temporary because of spell abilities.
Yeah.
So, wow, the Bard is the one taking all the hits. I see how it is.
You kind of took point on a couple of encounters, so
I had a lot of fun kiting that alpha wolf.
yes, which was very. I liked how you handled that, but I was like so mad because I'm like, no, this was supposed to be harder, and you ended up like cleaning up. So
We did. Although
Yeah.
for the first half, Kabuto couldn't land a hit with his Warhammer.
Yeah, it was like my biggest, beefiest, baddest weapon. Couldn't land a single hit.
He
I
was
think
like a really incompetent Koopa Troopa.
Oh man.
I did nat 20 with it at one point and
At
crush
one
ahead.
point, yeah.
The amazing
Made up
thing
for
was we kind of broke the session into about three kind of subsets as we were eating and taking little breaks. And in the first set of the first combat, I couldn't make anything happen. Chungus was rolling like 18s back to back to back, and we just kept crit failing.
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast for the win!
I had a crit fail and then like 3 nat 20s this game. It was pretty dope.
yeah.
But that first session where we couldn't roll above a 5 was getting really frustrating.
I was about to say, is the spellcaster going to start carrying?
Don't worry, the spellcaster is.
Ooh, get wrecked, scrub.
Yeah, I do like
I'll
that.
just let him think that. He needs it.
Oh my
That's
God.
fair, I do.
I like that all of you are spellcasters, but none of you are like, I main spellcasting. You all have your like stuff that goes along with it.
We're all
So,
like quasi-casters. None
Yeah.
of us are like wizards or sorcerers. None of us are ever going to be able to cast above 5th level spells, but
Excuse you. Actually, a lore bard can be like the strongest caster in this game.
I
that's
fail
it.
to see that now.
Because at level 8, I can learn one spell of any domain from anybody's spell list, and I get to do it again later on, so
Okay.
Yeah.
I can drop some serious magical might.
But
one
then our
day.
characters camped and had like a little discussion about like, hey, since we're all basically on the same quest, we should team up. My lizard folk was like, a pack could be beneficial. And yeah, I'm just my guy's real into contracts because he's a mercenary and bounty hunter.
Yeah.
So
And my character being a shyster, he sees the usefulness of having compatriots, but he doesn't bring them all up to the same page where he's at.
I get the feeling when your character says compatriots, what he really means is meat shields.
Maybe. I can either confirm or deny the accuracy of these statements.
So we camped out and kind of got our marching order together and figured out if we were going to work together, which, of course, it's D&D, we were going to work together.
Yeah.
Just had to make an in-story reason.
Of course.
Well, you guys were like, hey, let's all split our money and maybe we'll get more by doing so.
And we did, actually. We got more than we thought.
Ooh, I loved what my guy got. Oh my goodness. We will get to that. Don't mention it yet.
So we go back to where we fought that first group of wolves.
Yeah, we tracked them back there. There were a couple more.
Yeah.
One more alpha wolf waiting for us.
Yeah, there was another alpha wolf that was kind of guarding this wolf den kind of thing. They quickly dispatched that, and then they started investigating and seeing that this wolf den was like kind of built into, like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm kind of done in after
There was like a
GM.
stone wall covered to look like dirt.
Yeah.
And we couldn't figure out how to open it because we're dumb. So Kami had a great idea. Let's just go on top and just smash our way down.
It was set into the side of the hill, so we dug a few feet of earth out of the way and fell into the tunnel on the other side of the wall that we were.
Yeah.
You bonked your little noggin coming in.
Yeah.
I
I landed
fall.
like a lizard person.
ninja.
Yeah, and so I was so proud that they actually landed in the tunnel, because if they weren't going to dig directly above it, they were just going to be digging for a while. But they landed in the tunnel, and then they went down, and it was a very tight, little, narrow tunnel that, you know, their shoulders were scraping the walls a little bit at some points.
Especially Lizard Boy.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm the tallest. I'm only 6 foot. Well, I say only 6 foot because all my friends are like 6'3", but...
We are big boys.
6 foot lizard boy.
Yeah, so
Without frill.
Without frill.
Oh,
No
yeah.
frill. I don't have a frill.
Very important.
Yeah. Well, I'm
So
sad.
I'm hoping that has like some kind of story reason. Maybe one day.
Maybe.
I think it's just his genetics,
Okay.
honestly.
Aw. But so they go down this tunnel, and then they come up to a door, which Kami's character's like, I'm going to open the door very subtly
Just to check what was
just to
inside.
check.
He
And
peekied.
those who were in this room, which was a necromancer and 2 wolves, rolled so poorly they didn't even realize the door was open. And so he was like, oh, okay, that's what's in here. Closed it, made a plan.
Which immediately went south.
Yeah, you were like, I'm gonna try to be diplomatic, and my guy was like, diplomacy is for mammals. And then
I
like,
think I responded, well, thankfully it's all mammals in here but you.
yeah, and then you peeked through the door, and you were like, excuse me, sir, are these your hounds out front? Ooga, I'm bad at games.
Aw.
And of course, we were immediately attacked, and while we were fighting, my guy was like, diplomacy is for mammals.
He played so in character. It was lovely. So yeah, you guys busted in.
I tried.
You did try. But
It
yeah,
didn't
he
work.
wasn't having it. He didn't want to be nice. He was a little mad people were coming into his domain. So
His lair.
Yeah, you guys quickly finished that too. I thought you were going to struggle a lot more, but I think you guys played very well. And
Mhm.
so after you murked them, you kind of explored this necromancer cave, which was half a workshop, half of this living space where this guy was clearly living in here and doing his necromancy stuff. So
He was working on creating chimeras, right?
Yeah, he
Yes.
Full Metal Alchemist some people in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edward.
No.
Oh,
Oni
No,
Chan.
Nina.
Yeah, Kabute was the one that figured out, hey, this guy's trying to make chimeras and like kind of experimenting with that.
Nat 20 insight.
Yes, that was one of the nat 20s today. So he was like, oh, okay, so this is what's happening. This guy's clearly a necromancer, and he's clearly trying to do some bad juju up in here. And then, I don't remember what you two did.
I kind of searched his desk. No, I remember what it was.
No, you didn't. Because I searched the desk.
I remember you looked for a sack.
Oh yeah, so after you deduced what he was doing on the table, which was chimera necromancy, my character makes this comment. He says, "If it weren't for the fact that this guy is part of a job, I'd be really upset because this work is genius. And I kind of like admire the fact that he's butchering animals and then reconstructing them into abominations.
And my guy's seen way too much of that stuff. He was like, "Ugh."
So I say, I really hate what I'm about to have to do. And I walk over to him and I take my little hand axe and I cut the guy's head off.
Very clean cut.
Reason being is because my contract said that she wanted the bandit's head, who I'm assuming this necromancer's the bandit, head on a pike.
Yeah, Kami's character winced at that, and then my character was like, I'm in the bounty hunter line of work. I know what that's for.
Yeah.
I was like, I pretty much just
And
figured it out.
I got really dark. I didn't even think about getting a sack. I just kind of took the guy and tied his hair around my waist.
Yeah, I remember one point you were like, does he have hair? And we were all like, what? Why
Could
do
be
you want
bald.
to know?
I think at one point I was like, could you please put that in a sack? Because I don't really want to look at it.
And I looked down and it was kind of dripping blood all over my trousers. And I said, fair point. So I go over to this little rubbish sack and I stuff the head in and I tie the bag off. I'm like, okay.
So then at that point, we just kind of loot everything we can, as good D&D players do, and then go back and collect all our individual rewards from the quest givers.
Yeah.
Which meant money!
Which was actually really fun.
Yeah, my quest gave us 100 silver and a piggy.
Which your character loved more than gold.
Oh my, I was carrying him under my arm and he was squealing and kicking. I just squeezed him. I was so happy to get that pig in and out of the game.
Porker.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and so we stopped it. I think the town Kami's character got his thing from.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
And
overnighted there.
Yeah, we stayed at the inn. And like I was like, I'm gonna go. I asked if there was a slaughterhouse, and he was like, I asked if there was anywhere where I could kill the pig because I'm gonna eat it. I'm a lizard folk. And he was like, yeah, you can kill the pig at the slaughterhouse, two buildings down. So I walked 2 buildings over, and I'm standing in front of the slaughterhouse, and he said,
On the street.
yeah, and I'm like, well, he said go to the slaughterhouse, and I could kill it here. So I just bite its throat out on the street, just rip a chunk out of it. And how did it go after that? I'm gonna let you guys talk for a bit.
When you gathered a crowd in the streets as they're watching in a horror as you dismember a pig with your face.
Oh, they were loving it.
Well, there's 3 very distinct towns. I thought they were very distinct towns where the place where Hunt's character was, it was like this sweet little town. It was all tranquil, nestled between the forest and the hills. It was supposed to be adorable. And then Big Boy Chungus's town was like filled with very disgruntled farmers who had had enough with bandits and everything, and they were, pretty rough individuals. I
didn't mind them.
I mean, you didn't mind. I think everyone actually liked it there better than the
Especially
nice
by
place.
the end.
Yeah. And then the last place where Kami's character went to was supposed to be kind of like this hustle and bustle kind of town, like growing because of the trade towns next to it. And so people there loved adventuring and like loved stories, so they went there for like stories and adventurers and stuff. And so when they saw the
Giant lizard boy,
they were like, oh, this must be one of those fabled creatures from the tales that we've been hearing about. And so they rolled just crazy on that. They're like, oh, this must be that person we heard a story about, because they're obsessed with stories in this town.
And I was like, what story? And then I took another bite out of the piggly.
Oh gosh.
The Piggly Wiggly.
the story thing was great because being the bard character, I immediately turned this into a massive saga with hundreds of necromancers and armies of undead wolves and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I was ripping off a pawn shop owner.
Yeah.
You guys were getting upset as players because you're like, this guy's selling our loot for money and didn't even tell us. And I'm like, no, this is junk that I had on me it was literally just 2 little vials of colored water, worthless in the crusade. I sold them both for like 7 gold.
Oh my gosh.
I ripped this poor pawn shop owner off.
Yeah,
Wow.
You rolled really good for that, actually. I was like, yeah, okay, he'll take it. He'll buy it.
I was actually struggling to come up because I said one of the vials had red liquid and the other one had green liquid. And I just said the red one was a health potion. I didn't even know what to make the green one that sounded legitimate. I didn't want to say poison because what pawn shop owner is going to buy poison?
Yeah.
So I just said it's an intoxicant.
Yeah.
Whatever the heck that meant, but he bought it.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, this is great. He didn't roll too well either. I was like,
Yeah, he was kind of snooty.
he's a very snooty person.
Yeah, I got a little bit extra loot for my trouble.
The best part
Yeah.
was that I made more money entertaining the inn than I did from the actual quest.
Yeah. While you were doing most of that, I was getting my pig all cut up and dried out and stuff at the slaughterhouse. It only cost me 5 gold. I thought it would be more. But I thought it was a good investment. And so I walk in during your story when you have a huge crowd of people around you, and I just got like a huge, like almost a whole pig in my hand still, just all the meat from the pig. And you were like, there's the lizard that accompanied us. And then Big Boy Chungus' character was trying a little too hard, and he was like, look, he still has the necromancer in his mouth, because I had raw pig hanging out my mouth, and I'm looking around like, who has necromancer in their mouth? Because I was so confused.
I was trying to hype up Kami's story, because I'm like over here enjoying free alcohol from his saga and ballads. And I'm just like, yeah, and he did this, that, and the other. Bring me more drinks.
Yeah, I mean, he had these people engrossed in this story. They were like loving it. They live for stories in this town.
Plus the 25 performance didn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, that really helped.
So then we entertain the people for a while. I make some money off of that. We go upstairs to divvy up our loot, and as we were divvying everything up,
It was the cutest thing, like kids at Halloween trading off their candies. Like, I want your Take Fives. Here's my Kit Kats.
here, I want the potion, but you can have the dagger.
Yeah.
I'll give you 25 pieces of silver for your piece of pork.
You guys can have some pigly. It's just written down as 3 days of pigly on my character sheet.
I got 3 days of swine.
I have
I've got
pigly.
swine.
Mine says pigly.
Is that a name, or is that just a...
You named it Piggly?
No, my guy just called it swine, but yeah, I wrote down pigly though.
Yeah.
But so as we're divvying it up like kids at Halloween, daggers come flying through the window.
Yeah, all of you rolled excellent on that. And
Another nat 20.
Yeah,
Got a hug.
Kabuto's like, get down!
Yeah, nat 20, take them both down.
Yeah.
Daggers miss. I kept one.
They wouldn't have hit you guys because you rolled high enough, but I was rewarding that
Yeah,
nat 20. I was just
fun.
so impressed. I'm like, yeah, he's doing really good. So, yes, daggers come flying through the window, start plinking into the walls and the door.
And then somebody kicks the door in.
Yes. Well, someone tried to come through the window, and then someone kicks down the door, so.
Yeah, you had the good idea of putting the mattress up on the window to catch the guy that was coming in.
It was not my worst idea.
Yeah, I liked it. It worked.
It did.
So, it was...
I think I was kind of useless for that round, because the only positive thing I remember doing is there was one guy coming through the door.
Well, you used your action to put that armor on yourself.
Well, that was the armor, but then out of the 3 times I cast spells, only one of them connected, because I rolled poorly on the other 2.
Yeah.
I casted, because we leveled up prior to this, I got a new spell, Command, and one of the guys that was in the room, I told him to halt, so he basically lost a turn for a round.
Which was great because it kept us from getting like beaten on.
Yeah, which I'm glad that one went through, because then I tried throwing 2 Eldritch Blasts, and one of them just straight up crit failed.
Yeah.
And then the other one just whiffed, because it wasn't high enough to clear the armor class.
Yeah.
So let's see. So basically, you two kind of handled the guy that came through the door though pretty quickly though.
Yeah, I shouted to you guys not to kill him, so I did blunt damage. When I was building my character, I made sure I could do a lot of blunt damage for taking people in alive.
Yeah.
Which was a really good thought. That's smart.
Well,
Smart
bounty
plan.
hunters got to take people in alive a lot,
Yeah.
so they can face justice and stuff. So
I love how thoroughly you thought through your character in the creation.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. I really like this character. I hope he sticks around forever.
you say that like you're famous for killing characters or something.
No.
She's totally not wearing a shirt that says GMs kill characters.
I mean...
Totally not. So we covered up the window. One guy tried to jump in and couldn't get through the mattress. And then while he was hanging off the side of the roof, I pulled a hideous laughter on him and made him fall a couple of stories.
Laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
He's got like this Joker grin on his face that won't go away.
Yeah. And then the next guy kicked me in the chest. That was not fun.
Yeah.
Got in the room for about 30 seconds, and then we kind of just tossed him right back out the window.
You guys were brutally efficient in combat, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, we were. We were really efficient.
Yeah,
It's like
especially
the
Mr.
opposite
No
of our
HP
last
loss.
campaign.
Yeah, a little bit like the opposite.
We're getting better.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
That's just because we switched out our worst player to DM.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I don't remember DMing anything.
Oh, self-awareness.
Everybody's sad now.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I don't know. I'm the only one not getting razzed on right now.
Does that mean I'm a good player now?
You're much better, yes.
You are so much better. Oh my word!
Thank you. That warms my heart.
But yeah, so I knocked that first dude out that came in the regular way. The other two guys got away. I don't know if guards got them or not. But
You have
guards,
to go back to the town to find out about that.
yeah, guards did chase them. And then a guard came in with the inn owner, and she was like, what are you guys doing? I'm going to arrest this guy. And I was like, I put out one of my scaly hands, and I was like, let us have a few minutes with him first. And she agreed. And so I closed the door. The dog barked him awake. And you, Kami here, convinced me to let him try to persuade the dude first.
Which ended up working out.
It did. It's a good thing it did, because if it didn't, he would either been lunch or short a few fingers.
I did get a little more out of him, though, when I leaned in close and went, do you know what man flesh tastes like? And he could, like, the dead swine was on my breath, and you could see the skin, and he just crapped his pants.
Literally.
He didn't even make me roll for it.
He rolled. I don't remember exactly how it all worked out, but it was just like...
Didn't
think
he
we were
fill
gonna
out
get
his pants or something? Like, someone said, like, he was intimidated after that.
You know, he stripped him and bound him and everything, and I spooked him.
I think we got most of the relevant information out of the persuasion check. I think I rolled like a 19 on that persuasion check, but then we got the full details about like the whole mechanism about why people were being sent off again to the necromancer guy.
Yeah, because it turns out the guy who sent me on a quest, Greg, was a little liar boy.
Yeah.
He was a little liar of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And,
The bard would know all about liars, wouldn't you?
actually,
Excuse you! I'm the straightest arrow in this quiver.
Yeah, the bard and I are like
Liar.
really
like
honest.
Oh,
my
I do
gosh.
have a lyre actually. That is
Ah.
that is my instrument.
That was a good joke on accident, and I hate it.
No, that was intentional.
No, I mean, it was an intentional joke, but You're
I'm
bad
very
at things.
confused.
Moving on, so you scared
So-
him and you got some information. You also got a letter off of him.
yeah, that revealed the farmer was bad boy. So we were headed back to get some revenge and info out of the farmer, and we met my contact.
Which you should explain why you get this contact.
Yes, so urban bounty hunter background people get a contact in each city. And my contact
It's a spider on the wall. I
Oh.
hate spiders.
is a cabbage salesman. Specifically the cabbage salesman from Avatar The Last Airbender. So I helped him out, and now he gives me info and takes me places. So we wanted to sneak to the farm. You guys have disguising abilities, so you disguised yourselves.
Yeah.
And I just hid under a bunch of cabbages.
Yeah.
He blends in because he's green.
Poked my little
Cabbages are
green head out, and I was like, Cabbage Man, take us where we need to go, Cabbage Man. I gave him 5 gold just because we're buddies. And you guys were like talking, and I was like, you said something, and Big Boy Chungus said something rude to him, and I was like, do not be rude to Cabbage Man.
I remember what it was. He was starting to tell a story about a paladin that saved his life, and I'm like, I don't remember asking to hear this story, but here we are.
Yeah, but he's a cabbage man going to this big town. So I was like, okay, it's time for the contact. So yeah.
So Cabbage Man smuggles us basically into town so that we're not recognized because we'd been in that town the day before and didn't know who to trust.
I liked the disguises too. That was very nice.
Yeah, do you want us to describe those?
Sure.
So, like, my character has this really cool outfit that's, like, reversible. He can turn it inside out. He's got a little coat, undershirt, pants that changes colors and designs when switched. So he basically just found a bush, got naked, flipped his clothes inside out, and because we were looking like guards, I just put my light armor over everything I had, so I kind of looked like one of these Renaissance puffy pants, sword or axe wielding guards.
And I have a disguise kit with all kinds of makeup and stuff for performances, so I just changed my facial features and hair color.
I like the different approaches because it's like very different for each character. and stuff.
I was a cabbage.
Yeah, you were a cabbage. You were rolling around with the cabbages.
Be one with the cabbage.
Yeah, my skin color matched. It worked out great. And he kept trying to get me cabbage, and I was like, lizard folk do not eat cabbage, cabbage man.
So we get into town. We know exactly where Greg's farm is because that's where we got paid earlier. So we go straight to him, and he's in the chicken coop feeding the chickens.
And I had the great idea to just block the door with my quarterstaff.
Lock it
And
in.
he was like, hey, what's going on here? See?
Yeah,
That's not how he
see?
talks, but... And
This is where
then
it got-
Kami was like, do you remember me? And he was like, no, because you were both in disguises. And then I peeked my head in, and he was like, oh, no.
You even took off your disguise, and he still didn't recognize
Yeah.
you. He did not.
I was slightly
surprised.
offended.
That
You
was
guys
so
actually
funny.
didn't roll insight the first time you came across him. I thought I was making him sound pretty fishy, but you guys were like,
No,
Well,
I
everyone was so
get
friendly
now
this
that you
time.
were, because you were like, necromancer, what's that? So I get that was the hint now.
Yeah.
But,
I thought at the time you were just playing up ignorant farm dude. You know what I
No,
mean?
that one was pretty intentional. But yeah, I'll be
apologize.
better. I'll be better in the next session.
No, looking back, I could definitely tell how you were playing it up. I just thought you were playing it up as idiot farm guy.
yeah, me too.
Oh.
Because the town seems so innocent as a whole.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it was a perfect cover. Continue. I'm
So.
sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
It was a
good
good
point.
cover.
Yeah, very good point. Gucci gang, YOLO. So, it took a little bit, but we finally intimidated him into giving us info. And there's like this Irina chick that
We got that in the
inspired-
journal later on.
Oh yeah, that was in the journal.
Yeah. So Greg was basically kind of.
He served the necromancer by sending singular adventurers over to where the necromancer was, so the necromancer's undead wolves would kill him, and he would have parts for his dark
experiments.
magic voodoo and stuff. And he also covered the fact, like, oh, I'm gonna pay these, adventurers to go take care of the, feral dogs that Kabuto was sent after. And it's just like this big cover story to, keep getting stuff and supplies for the necromancer. Sorry, continue about the chicken coop.
Oh, the chicken coop.
Um,
I'll never look
Okay.
at a chicken coop the same way again.
So after we got all the info out of him, Kami went to search the house. And
Because I knew it was about to happen.
you wanted some time alone with him in the chicken coop.
I did, and I got it, and it went exactly the way I wanted.
And the whole
I-
time, by the way, I'm just sitting on the outside. I'm kind of observing, just making sure no passersby come in, but I'm like watching as you do your deeds.
So I chomped this dude's neck, right? He's trying to stab me, but my AC is crazy high because I got scales, yo. And then I rolled a nat 20 for my second bite, and I just rip his head off. His spine comes out Predator style. And then I just start chewing on his intestines, and I'm like, this will make it look like he was killed by an animal, which I did
Fatality.
say. And then you guys went back on it when villagers came up. What'd you find in the house? Tell us about the house.
Did you tell us in character, just clarify, did you tell us in character what you were trying to make it look like?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did, in fact. Your character wasn't
I was not there,
Your
though,
character wasn't
which is
there.
why
Yours was.
Which is why. I
Yeah,
played the way
Kami's
I
character
did.
wasn't there, now that I'm thinking back.
My character, I was really interested when you first bit his throat out, but then after you started munching on his sausage, I was just flipping through a journal that I hadn't read up until that point.
And afterwards, you were like, I like your style. I might need your services in the future. What's your rate?
No, I said, do you charge percentage or flat rate? And you're like, oh, flat rate.
So I just loot for whatever little chump change the guy has laying around, a couple of standard weapons you might find, and a journal that details his radicalization by the necromancer.
Yeah.
Okay, so your journal and my journal, we wound up swapping notes. We kind of got a bit of a bigger picture on who Greg was in relation to the necromancer.
What the
Learned that there
necromancer was doing.
Yeah, learned that there was a bit of a hierarchy to this whole evil magic thing.
And then suddenly the villagers start getting really curious about the screaming and bloody noises coming from the chicken coop.
I don't know if you guys caught it, actually. I was like, he starts to get really loud while he, like, he was revealing stuff to you, but I was like, he gets really loud. I don't know if any of you actually caught that.
I could feel it, but I didn't remember how close his farm was. I didn't remember how close
He
it
does
was.
have a smaller farm. I should have
But it's right on the edge of town, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
but-
further out like the other farms.
Yeah.
We didn't need long anyways. It all worked out.
I mean, you guys really...
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
nat 20'd him. That went down exactly like I wanted.
And then
I made a dagger out of his bones because the lizard has the artisan stuff. And I do need to talk to you about what I'm going to do with that, actually,
Okay.
and see if you'll let me do it.
Okay.
But actually, I think because I cast illusion to like make everything seem fine and dandy on the inside of the thing, so I don't think anybody ever saw you there, and we were in disguise.
Well,
Yeah.
the reason why we had to use illusion was because I wasn't paying attention, and I fed the villagers a line that he was attacked by some foxes in the hen house and was unconscious. I should have just told him that he was mauled by wolves who got into the hen house.
Yeah, you said all he did was hurt his leg. You even had a feral dog story all lined up for you, and you just...
That was lapse in player judgment.
It's all good. I don't want this to be
It was-
like some crazy hard first session. I wanted it for you guys to get into your character and start to figure out your,
Well, at this point,
Well, I
we
nat
also
20. Yeah, I nat 20 stealth on the way into town.
which was great.
Yeah, and then no one saw me when the villagers came up. You two were in disguises when the
Yeah.
villagers came up. I think we got away scot-free.
I
I
think
think
you're
so.
pretty good.
That was as we're
That's all
making
we
our
saw
escape.
me.
I'm over at Kami like we need to get out of here and ditch these clothes now.
Literally everyone who saw me is dead or the friendly cabbage man. So
He won't sell you out.
He loves Kabuto.
he loves Kabuto.
I like that you wanted to use your contact too for
Mhm.
the town. Like, I was like, okay, it's contact time. Which, yeah.
I'm actually really excited to see where we go from here.
Me too.
See, I feel like I should tell the podcast kind of my like I wanted this to be very open world, so you guys can be like, I want to investigate further with the necromancer. I want to investigate. Well, I won't say all the questy thingies.
Well, there was the lizard quest.
Yeah, and like I really want you guys to kind of figure out like, okay, this is how I want to play my character. Okay, this is kind of how my character fits into the group. And, I want it to be like an easy intro, get a level or two, which, we'll level up again very soon. Because I wanted them to get a couple of levels and figure everything out. And be a chill intro.
Mm-hmm. I think
So-
we've got a pretty good group dynamic going, the way our characters interact and the roles we fill.
Yeah, you keep us from being too
Murder
destructive.
hobo.
Yeah.
My character, I don't know if you guys might think otherwise, but my character doesn't just outright murder people. He's not good, but he won't murder someone if there's like something to be gained from it. He'd rather use that person as leverage or as a ransom or something. I don't know.
Yeah, my guy only ate human for the first time today. That was
How did that
How'd
taste, by the way?
Yeah, how was that?
not quite as good as the pork.
Of
Which
course.
is weird because in real life,
Human
cannibal
tastes
tribes
like
will actually
pork.
say that human tastes like pork.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
learned something new today.
Yeah.
That's interesting, though. Terrifying, but interesting.
You should watch the Discovery Channel more often.
I don't have cable.
Oh.
I mean, you can just watch old stuff.
You don't
on
even have
YouTube.
cable.
That's true. I watch some of the shows on
That's just
Amazon.
Well,
Oh, go eat a farmer.
got him. I
Well,
did.
we'll keep it on track, I suppose, with the D&D. But is there anything else that we didn't cover that we left out, or?
Just some smaller tomfoolery, but that's not worth mentioning.
I absolutely think my favorite part about this has been that everybody has played their character really spot on, keeping the motivations consistent, and I love Lizard Boy.
Yeah.
I do too, yeah. Like,
He's-
everything is like, you just call everyone mammals. You don't even
Yeah.
care about their names. It's perfect.
Everyone is what they are.
Yeah.
You're playing your character very well. I'm a little jealous that
Yeah.
I've roleplayed well, but I have not to the extent that you're doing.
Like, he's just calling Big Boy Chungus' character Businessman. He's just calling Kami's character Poem Man.
Oh, yeah,
Cabbage Man.
That was something that my
Farmer
character did.
Man.
Like at the beginning, we're all trying to introduce like, what do we do for a living? And I'm like really vague and ambiguous. Like I'm a businessman.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, mammals don't have names. Mammals have occupations.
You called Farmer Greg.
Yeah,
That was
Farmer
great.
Greg, but that was because I had a note with his name on it. I could see his name.
You are Greg.
I can read common.
Yeah, but That's what I kind of wanted. I wanted you guys to figure out your characters so that way when we keep going, you'll have like, okay, I know what I'm doing. And you just slip into the character a little easier. So.
Yeah, there was kind of a little, now we have a new meme in the group because they kept asking me, they were like, what are you doing in the woods? And I didn't want to tell them I was making money. So I was like, hunting. And just every question they asked me, hunting could have fit as the answer and wasn't technically a lie. So I just kept answering hunting. So it's just random.
Like after 5 questions, hunting.
Yeah, like so at random times when I was asked a question more towards the middle of today's session, someone would just randomly go, hunting? Like, it didn't make sense. Just a fun little had to be there inside joke. It was real fun. It was a real Gucci gang. It was real YOLO.
We played for a while today, though.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got over it here at 11-ish? And
We were here at like 11:15.
And
Yeah.
we're knocking on 8 o'clock now. So.
Yeah, it was like just a little past 7 when we started. When I was getting the podcast and stuff set up.
Yeah. But yeah, chill, easy,
Nice chill, easy session.
a lot of
Straightforward.
combat, but
Yeah, it was good though. I kicked butt with everything but my hammer. You'd think it would be the best thing to use, but nah.
you did all right.
Your best weapon's your face.
Yeah, just ripping people's. I also have this ability where I can get a little health when I bite.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah,
Not that
You
you ever
never
lost
lost
any
any
health.
I never lost any health.
I really kind of doubled down on my Eldritch Blast. Now, that's nothing really to brag about because that's like the cantrip that's the bread and butter for all warlocks.
Yeah.
Better than your brother's Ray of Frost.
Oh, gosh.
This is Ray of Frost. Get it?
His
Oh
full
my-
name is Ray Oliver Frost.
Ray O. Frost.
Oh my gosh.
I think I was pretty creative with my spell usage today. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, your spells kicked butt, dude.
I love that crowd control, man.
They were awesome.
That's why I like the bard. It's a good like support class in every respect, combat, everything. So, but yeah,
Yeah, it was very Gucci gang. It was very YOLO. It was very swagger. Everything about it was dank
Are you
and
good?
dope.
are you good?
Dabbing
Yeah.
on them.
Let me get as many 2000s buzzwords in there that I can. The kitties asleep.
You just gotta say Fortnite.
Fortnite!
Raid Shadow
I
Legends.
knew you'd say Raid Shadow Legends. Orc Knights! Mech Warrior. You gotta play some Mech Warrior today.
Yes, I
Yeah.
Okay.
do. Yes, I do.
So, anyone else have anything else left to...
I'm looking forward to the next session.
Can't wait.
Don't lie.
Quit being so pessimistic.
and insecure.
Accept our affection.
Now.
and anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were great. It was dope. It was dank. It was memes.
All right.
And I think that's it.
Yeah, that should be it for today. So remember to check out all the links in the description if you want to buy that merch. Buy that merch. Buy that merch. Big Boy Chungus is repping some right now. The Where's My Tarp Demon t-shirt from our first campaign we played. The one called Fate Knocks at Your Door, slogan of the podcast. I guess Fate's just the mascot of the podcast now.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I did a thing.
He's been memed into immortality.
For better or worse.
So yeah, that merch is on our eBay link with some other merch as well, podcast logo, shirt, etc. We also have Facebook, Twitter, and places to donate if you want to support the show so we can play more games for y'all. So that's it. Thank you all once again, and we'll see you next time when Fate knocks at your door. #Gucci Gang.